will be replacing factory speakers in a 2006 Chevy Trailblazer with 6.5-inch aftermarket speakers. I'll show you what I had to go through to replace the first one in the driver's door front by showing you the passenger door front. First thing we got to do is take the door panel off. For me, that entails taking out that little screw and then two bolts that hold the door handle in place. One's located down there and the other one's located under this. To the two screws, we pry this piece off by prying up here and here, and then this pries out. Don't break the four little plastic clips that hold it in place, or it'll rattle as you drive down the road when you get put back together. Insert screwdriver here, pry up, move it down, pry up. Probably best to unplug it, set it off to the side so you don't break it or lose it, because it will be in the way. This one here. Carefully pry it out. Them are the four tabs. If you break them, it will rattle. Unplug that. Take out this screw here, another screw like it inside that hole, and door panel comes off. Taken off. Here's the first bolt that comes out. The second one is down in that hole. Main bolts out. I use a flathead screwdriver. Might want to use a plastic pry tool if you're worried about scratching the door. Undo the plastic keepers that hold the door in place and it should come right off. You can see the plastic keepers that held the door in place, door panel in place. Now we got to unplug and remove the speaker mount. Okay, now that we got all the screws out, here's the speaker, here's the plastic housing. Now we'll take the speaker out, modify the speaker to mount the new speaker in its place. Get this screw out right here, and there's one over here. Takes a Torx bit wrench, T15, unless it's been previously modified, then go according to the screw head. Foam up without ripping it. You'll need to put it back in place to help seal everything back to the door again. Rip mine, but it's not going to matter. It's still going to do its job. Get both screws out, pry up on the speaker. It's lightly glued down. You'll need to cut the wires as close to the speaker as possible, unless you feel like rewiring this whole device, which I don't feel like doing right now. Speaker just yet. You need to pry one more piece off to make adding the aftermarket speaker a lot simpler. The speaker will not sit down inside here where the funny shape of this speaker sits. So we have to pry this plastic piece out right here that sits on top of this speaker. I took a little razor blade, cut this section off. You won't need it because the other speaker has to fit through this plastic piece. I'll show you that in a minute. Loose. Just pry it apart. Without breaking it. This is the piece you'll need. It will sit upside down in the hole. The other speaker will fit right in here. The other speaker out of its packaging. Like when it's bolted down. Remember, when you put this together, you want the speaker connectors as mounted close to those because that's where the new wires will be crimped. These are crimped in place. Positive is the big spade, negative is the little spade. We will compare. Got the crimps on the right side. Now I will bolt it together and show you what it looks like. Wires hooked up. There's the speaker bolted in place. Just reattach that as needed to make everything look like it's supposed to. Don't worry about the two different tweets or high ends. Bolt her back together. Back in place. Let's get everything ready to put the door panel back in place. And this looks like it was a fun project.